Hello everyone, welcome back to your physics class. This is your physics teacher. Hope you all are fit and fine. Chapter 1 Physical Quantities and Measurement is going on, and you have learnt about measurement of volume in the previous video. In this video you will learn how to measure area of regular and irregular shaped objects, and you will learn about capacities. Now we know that liquids are the substances which have a definite volume but they don't have any definite shape, because they take the shape of the container in which they are kept. And we know that liquids can flow from one place to another. That means they have the ability to flow. So they are stored in the vessels or containers, and which come in various capacities. Now what do we mean by capacity? The capacity of any container or any vessel is the amount of liquid that it can hold. Or we can say that the amount of liquid that a container or a vessel can hold is known as its capacity. We use various measuring cylinders and measuring beakers to measure the desired volume of liquids. Like a milkman keeps measuring cans with fixed capacities of 100 ml, 250 ml, 500 ml for measuring the amount of milk. Similarly, in labs, measuring cylinders and measuring beakers are used to measure the desired volume of liquids like solutions, chemicals, acids in the labs. For other purposes, measuring cans, jugs, cups can be used. Now you can see this is a measuring cylinder, and markings are made on this measuring cylinders for accurate measurement of the liquids. Measuring cylinders and measuring beakers can be made of glass or plastic. They have clear markings or graduations on them, because they are used to measure accurately. Or we can say that these clear markings or graduations are done to get an accurate measurement of the volume of the liquids which are measured by using these measuring beakers. Now items such as milk and oil are measured using metal containers with fixed capacities, and that fixed capacities can be 100 ml, 250 ml, 500 ml or 1000 ml, that means of 1 liter. These are the measuring containers which are used for milk and oil. Now what precautions we should take while taking a reading from a measuring cylinder? So while taking a reading from a measuring cylinder, make sure that the level of liquid in the cylinder and our eye are on the horizontal line. The level of the liquid in the measuring cylinder and our eye should be in the horizontal or in the straight line, so as to avoid the error. In measuring cylinders, the liquid surface is slightly curved. When we pour any liquid in a measuring cylinder, then it will always have its curved surface. The curved surface of a liquid is known as meniscus, having upper and lower points. What is meniscus? The curved surface of the liquids when we pour them into the measuring beakers, that are known as meniscus. To avoid any error, the reading should always be taken from the top of a convex meniscus and the bottom of a concave meniscus. Now what do we mean by convex meniscus and concave meniscus? You can see here we have taken two different liquids, water and mercury. Water is a liquid which wets the walls of the container, and mercury is a liquid which do not wet the walls of the container. That means there is some difference between these two liquids. So water has a concave meniscus and mercury has a convex meniscus. And how we should take the reading? We take the reading in case of water from the bottom of the concave meniscus, and in case of mercury or of convex meniscus, we will take the reading from the top of the convex meniscus. That means the level of our eye should be here. So in this way we can measure the volume using the measuring cylinders. Then there is quick check 1 that you can do. Next is measurement of area. So in this we will learn how we can measure area of various regular and irregular objects. Firstly, what is area or how we can define area? Area is defined as the space occupied by a plane object or a two-dimensional figure. What do we mean by two-dimensional figure? The figure who is having only length and breadth, that means two dimensions, is known as two-dimensional figure. So what is an area? Area is the space occupied by a plane object. Plane object can be a square, a rectangle, or a circle. A circle is also a two-dimensional figure or a plane object. In case of three-dimensional bodies, we measure the surface area only, that is the area of the enclosing surfaces. Now what are the units of area? The SI unit of area is meter square. That means if we write area, then it is a derived quantity. It is derived from length, which is a fundamental quantity. We can write area of any figure like of rectangle, that is equal to length into breadth. Ultimately breadth is also a length, so the unit of area will be equal to meter square into meter. That means it will be equal to meter square, because the SI unit of length is meter, so it is equal to meter into meter, that is equal to meter square. So it is the SI unit of area. There are other units also which are used to measure area. For example, if we want to measure the area of cities or countries, larger units are used. That means kilometer square is used. For areas of farms or houses, hectare is the commonly used unit. And there are some smaller units like millimeter square, centimeter square, and decimeter square. Now what is the relationship between different units of area? If we see 1 millimeter square is equal to 10 to the power minus 6 meter square. How we can write this? Because 1 millimeter square can be written as 1 millimeter multiplied by 1 millimeter, that will be equal to 10 to the power minus 3 meter multiplied by 10 to the power minus 3 meter. So it will be equal to 10 to the power minus 6 meter square. Similarly, 1 meter square will be equal to 10 to the power 2 millimeter square. 1 meter square can be written as 1 meter multiplied by 1 meter. And we know in 1 meter there are 100 centimeters. So it can be written as 100 centimeter multiplied by 100 centimeter, that will be equal to 10 to the power 4 centimeter square. Similarly, 1 hectare is equal to 10 to the power 4 meter square, and 1 kilometer square is equal to 10 to the power 6 meter square, that we can solve. Next, how we can measure the area of regular surfaces. So what are regular surfaces? Which have regular shapes like squares, rectangles, and circles. And we can measure the area of these surfaces by using definite formulas corresponding to them. And we just need to determine the length of these specific parameters, and we can find out the area by substituting the values in the formulas. Now there are some 2D figures or two-dimensional figures whose formulas are given here to calculate the area. Now there are three quadrilaterals. First is trapezoid. So trapezoid is a quadrilateral, and how we can find out the area of trapezoid? You can see trapezoid is a figure which have two parallel surfaces, and h is the distance between these two parallel surfaces, or we can see these two parallel surfaces as base 1 and base 2. So what is the area of this trapezoid? The area of the trapezoid can be written as half the sum of the two parallel distances multiplied the distance between two parallel surfaces. Half the sum of two parallel surfaces multiplied by the distance between the two parallel surfaces. And then what about the area of parallelogram? This is the height of the parallelogram and this is the base of the parallelogram. So area of the parallelogram will be base multiplied by height. The area of rectangle can be written as length multiplied by breadth. If h is the length and b is the breadth, then we can write h multiplied by b. Now what is the area of square? We know that each side of square is same, so it will be h multiplied by h, or it is h square. Or we can take any other symbol for it, a multiplied by a square, l multiplied by l square. Then area of area of triangle will be base multiplied by height divided by 2. This is the height of the triangle and this is the base of the triangle, so it is half multiplied by base multiplied by h. Then area of circle is equal to pi r square, where pi is a constant and r is the radius of this circle. So we can find out the area of each of these regular shapes by just substituting the values of different parameters. Then measurement of area of irregular surfaces. Irregular surfaces are those which do not have a regular shape, and there are no definite formulas for calculating their areas. But we have some methods for it. We can find out the area of irregular surfaces by using a method which is known as graphical method. In this method, we will use a graph paper. I hope you all have seen graph paper. A graph paper has number of identical squares which are made of rows and columns. This method is just an estimated method, or we can say that this method is used to get an estimation of area, because it does not give us a very accurate result. Now, what is the method? How we can find out the area of the irregular object? So for this, activity is written here, or what we have to do firstly, we will take any irregular surface, like we can take a leaf. Then we will take a graph paper. We will place the leaf over this graph paper, and then we will outline the leaf, or we will draw the boundary of the leaf with the help of pen or pencil. Then we will remove the leaf and we will count the squares which are enclosed within the traced outline or the boundary to get the estimated area. How we can count the squares, or how we will count the squares? Firstly, we will count the squares which are fully filled, or we will count the full squares. The full squares will be counted as full squares, but the squares which are filled more than half, that will also be counted as full squares. Means कि ये वाले अगर आप स्क्वायर देख रहे हो, these are the fully filled squares. But अगर कोई स्क्वायर ऐसा है which is more than half filled, like this is more than half filled कैसे होगा? Like this. But if it is more than half filled, then it will be counted as a fully filled square or full square. Then the half squares will be counted as half square, like this, it is a half square, so it will be counted as half square. But the squares which are less than half filled, like this, if it is less than half filled, then it will be neglected, it will be ignored. So in this way we will count the number of squares, and then we will add these number of squares and we will find the area of the object. For example, in this case, if we count the number of fully filled squares, then that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26 approximately. And these are the fully filled squares. Then if we count the half filled squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, there are half filled squares. And if there are, for example, suppose if there are less than half filled squares, then that we will neglect or we will ignore that. So the total number of squares will be 30, and we will find out the area of the object now. So what will be the area of the object? The area of the object will be the number of squares multiplied by the area of each square. So how we can count, how we can calculate the area of each square? The graph papers come in different sizes. For example, here we have chosen a unit area, that means the area of each square is 1 centimeter square. How it is 1 centimeter square? Because if this side is 1 centimeter and this side is also 1 centimeter, then the area of this small square will be 1 centimeter multiplied by 1 centimeter, that is equal to 1 centimeter square. So the area of the object will be the number of squares multiplied by the area of each square. That means it is 30 multiplied by 1 centimeter square. That means it will be 30 centimeter square. So in this way we can measure the area of any irregular shaped object. Thank you.